This is Better Sponge, advertised as the most incredible sponge you've ever experienced. That's today's review, so let's get right to it. Better Sponge is actually 3 different sponges, all with slightly different designs, but they're all silicone and they all have these little fingers on them that supposedly make scrubbing a little bit easier. 2 of them have suction cups. This one has a backing that doesn't have the single silicone fingers on it. This one is a little bit thicker. If you've seen the advertising, it looks impressive. So let's see how it works. My first concern is that I'm not sure how well these are going to absorb water like a regular sponge because there's nothing absorbent about these. They might be good for scrubbing. Let's see how well these do in a variety of tests around the kitchen and the bathroom. So today's review of Better Sponge is get started right now. All right, we're going to try a few kitchen related tests of the Better Sponge. Here it is. First thing I noticed in the commercial is they show a wine glass. Well, I got a beer glass here. Over here I got some warm soapy water. Dip them both in there and let's see how it goes. One thing I can say is it does easily fit in that area. It seems to contour nicely. As far as scrubbing action goes, it does feel kind of nice. And that cleaned up pretty nicely. More practical here. This is a nasty dish I just pulled out of the fridge. Sorry, it's gross, but that's just the way you gotta clean things. This had some old hamburger dish in there. Cleaned up nicely. How about we try the good old red copper pan. This is something I made earlier and I left it in here for, well, it's probably been an hour now. So I got some stuff caked on here. Normally I don't use sponges on the red copper pan because they can be abrasive, but the smooth silicone surface seems like it would be well suited for this pan, so I'm going to try it out. Hope I don't regret this. But no, it doesn't feel like it's being abrasive on the surface. Pretty nice. As I mentioned earlier, they do have a suction cup on there that you can use to stick it to the side of the sink, just like that. This one does not have a suction cup, it just has a little place you can hang it. And this one, it also has a suction cup, but this side is more for using on jars. So you can hang it like that. I'm not sure I would do that, but it is an option. Here is a spoon that has some stuff caked on there. I wonder if I can scrub that off. You can see that that's caked on. Hey, it's actually doing a pretty good job of scrubbing. I feel like I've scrubbed this kind of thing before with my regular sponge and it was more difficult, so I feel like as far as scrubbing goes, it's doing pretty good. It's doing surprisingly good. Okay, next up I want to try the inside of my oven window. As you can see, there's quite a bit of grease on there, just from normal cooking, so I'm going to try that. It doesn't really absorb it, so it's not really anything to squeeze out. It does have a little bit of soap on it though. That's kind of weird. I mean, I guess it scrubbed the grease, but as I suspected, it's not really picking anything up, so I'm just kind of moving the water around. So I'm going to have to get something else to pick up all the water. It did a decent job of cleaning up some of the grease. It's not 100%, but the fact that it didn't actually pick up any water is kind of what bothers me the most. Okay, here's a shower door with some buildup on it. I'm going to spray this bathroom cleaner. Then I'm going to use a regular sponge on part of it and the better sponge on the other part and see which one works the best. On this side, I'll do the regular sponge. I'm using the abrasive side first. I'm going to turn over and use the soft side to wipe that up. Now I'm going to try the better sponge on this side. There is no abrasive or regular side, so I'm just using this one side. Okay, as far as scrubbing goes, it's pretty good, but again, I'm not able to wipe the residue off. It just kind of moves the cleaner around. I'll use a sponge to wipe the cleaner off. Okay, so as far as the scrubbing goes, I don't see a discernible difference, but again, this one can absorb the moisture, this one can't. All right, while I was doing the shower door, some soap went on the floor. Normally I might use a sponge for that to absorb it, but with the better sponge, I'm not sure you can really do much because it's not going to pick it up. It's just going to kind of move it around. Regular sponge will pick it up. So once again, pretty good at scrubbing, not so good at picking up anything as far as moisture goes. But the commercial states that the better sponge can pick up pet hair, which these sponges really can't do. So let's try that next. All right, this couch has a tendency to pick up pet hair, like when the pets walk past it. As you can see, there's a big chunk of it right there. So let's see how the better sponge does picking up that patch of pet hair. In fact, there's even some back there too, if you can see that. So I'm going to pick up both of them. It's getting some of it. And now for this one. All right. Now I didn't get all the pet hair back there. You can still see it's there. You got some, not all. I don't know if I use a better sponge for pet hair. I'd probably use something like the Fur Wizard. That works better. None left. So when it comes to picking up pet hair, I'd go with the Fur Wizard. When it comes to absorbing water, I'd go with a regular sponge. That leaves this somewhere in the middle. I guess it's better, might be better for scrubbing and for maybe cleaning the edge of a glass where you have to contour it, but I'm not sure it's a replacement for those two things. All right, let's try some more dishes here. How about this plate with macaroni and cheese? See, it scrubs nicely. It does scrub nicely. Happy with that. Actually, I can see some cheese in there. Can you see that? Yeah, there's like some cheese and the macaroni got stuck in there. To try to wash that out now. All right, that came out. That's good. All right, the dishwasher cycle's over. Let's see how they look. Whoa, steam. That looks pretty good. No worse for wear, it looks like. All right, so they definitely handled the dishwasher quite well. I don't see any major problems with them. So the dishwasher is a success. One more feature of the Better Sponge is that it can be used to open jars. Actually, only this one can though, because this is the only one that doesn't have those silicone fingers on the one side. So I'm going to use it to open a jar and see how it works. I've got this unopened jar of pepper rings. I'm going to use my Better Sponge with this side that has the grips on it. I would say that works about as well as other rubber jar openers I've used in the past, so I think you can use this to open jars, but keep in mind it's only this one, not the other two. One more thing to point out is these can be used as pot holders, but only the purple one can be used as a pot holder because it's the only one that has that surface. So if you need two pot holders, you have to have two packages of these to use two purple ones, or you'll have to use an oven mitt or a pot holder with your other hand. So in the end, I think the Better Sponge is probably more like a slightly better than average kitchen scrubber. Because I think a sponge by definition has to absorb water, and this does not do that. It can also be used as a jar opener or as an oven mitt, not so much as an absorbent sponge. Have you used Better Sponge or something like it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And please subscribe for more As Seen on TV product reviews from me, James White, with Freakin' Reviews.